Hi, I'm JT on the go, back with another Venice video. Today we are going to check out Venice's vast network of canals, which gives Venice the nickname, the City of Canals.
Some may think that gondolas are the primary way to get around Venice, but the main way to get around Venice is by using the Venice Vaporetto or water bus. When traveling around Venice, it will mainly be done by walking or taking the boat. While the network of water bus lines can be a bit confusing, it's important to ask the employees at the ports for help. Some staff at hotels may know how to get around Venice on water buses too. You will find information at the manned ticket location in the space you would buy your passes near each stop. We will be heading to the SGRG or ferry terminal, which is way on the other side of Venice's busiest canal, to get the drone in the air. The only lines that go there are lines 2 and N. We bought ourselves day passes because we were staying in Venice for a whole day. Water buses in Venice are operated by ACTV. You can pre-order your tickets for the Vaporetto. You can use both the AVM Venezia app or the MyPass Venezia app to purchase your ticket. Depending on where you are going, the boat rides can be very short. Our stop is right up ahead. There are more than 22 lines that travel on Venice's canals. As you can see, there are lots of water traffic traveling around Venice. When I flew in the Cinque Terre, the seas were a lot quieter than they are here. An important thing about the canal network is that the busiest ones come close to Venice's tourist destinations. The Basilica Santa Maria della Salute is what we see up ahead. Venice's Grand Canal is what passes right in front of it and passes through the city. There is a lot of congestion in that area. There are a handful of water bus lines that operate in the Grand Canal. And of course, there is St. Mark's Square, a major tourist spot in Venice. Here, you can find places like the Doge's Palace, St. Mark's Basilica, and the St. Mark Bell Tower. As you can see from here, Venice is a city like an island, only reached by boat and causeway, which is how road vehicles and trains can reach the city. We're going to check out a little more of the canals before getting on a gondola this afternoon. Our boat is coming. It is important to always tap your pass on the kiosk before riding. There are some points where another boat comes in early and waits outside the port for another one inside the port to leave, like now. He had to wait for us to leave. The boats that we are using to get around are called Vaporetto, and it is the best experience to ride on one of these to explore Venice. They do show up at the stops every few minutes. The traffic on the lagoon is less than the traffic on the Grand Canal. Congestion can be anticipated at the train station, the Grand Canal, and St. Mark's Square. For Venice's airport, you can take the boats to reach the airport, but it is more expensive than getting to the train station. It's also farther away from Venice. The train station conveniently drops people off right by the canals, where you can take the boat lines to the city's tourist spots. Because there are no road vehicles in Venice, there are boats in different sizes. They have police boats, boats that carry mail, delivery boats, and also water taxis, which take people around the city like the water buses, but the water taxis could be more expensive. Water taxis look like that boat that passed us. Cargo boats and construction boats are present throughout the city. When the tourists are sleeping in the hotels, the boats would come in and resupply the shops, restaurants, markets, and hotels if needed. The area we are in is close to the train station. Road vehicles and trains can only be seen in Venice around here by the causeway. These boats usually get their goods from the road vehicles or the trains. What we saw back there is an example. They were loading cargo onto that boat to be taken further into the city. This is part of the Grand Canal. We just came from the western end of the canal. Gondoliers also operate around the Grand Canal and are part of the tourist experience. If you went through the Grand Canal between St. Mark's Square and the train station, expect messy traffic. There are 4 ferry ports that serve the train station. Station A is for lines 1, 2, 2/N, and P. Station B is for lines 1, 2, 2/5.2, A, and N. Lines 3, 4.1, and 5.1 serve the station at Station C. Station D has the same lines as Station C. Don't get tricked by me repeating some of the lines more than once, because some of the lines stop in one station for one direction, but stop at a different one at the same location when traveling in the other direction. If you just arrived into Venice St. Lucia on high-speed train and are heading to St. Mark's Square, line 5.2 is the one to catch. When coming out of the train station from the front, ferry stations A and B are on the left side, while stations C and D are on the right side. Alright, it's time to ride the gondola. You can catch them all over the city, but St. Mark's Square is one of the places they have a high presence. A gondolier ride typically costs more when it's darker outside. Our ride costs 80 euros. Gondolier rides usually cost 80 for a 30-minute ride. After 7 p.m., it would typically cost 100 euros, depending on the time of day. You can only pay in cash. Gondola rides could take longer than planned due to the traffic. We're underway. Gondola rides usually go in the narrower, quieter canals in the city. What we see here is the Doge's Palace on the left, and on the right, the prisons, both connected by the Bridge of Sighs. As we get further from the busy lagoon, it's starting to get quieter. During low tide, the ride can be quite smelly. Part of the reason of Venice being one of the most romantic cities in the world is the gondolas with their setting on canals. Riding on a gondola is a favorite for couples of all ages, like those two in that gondola that passed us. The gondolas can be parked here after being attached by ropes on those poles that are sticking out. Venice's canals began to form in the 9th century when canals were carved into the lagoon's mudflats and islands. The Grand Canal evolved from these canals. Gondolas have been used in Venice since at least the 11th century. Gondolas were used for transportation in Venice from after their beginning. Today, traditions of riding them survive. Some water taxis do come through these canals. Whenever the gondolier or the guy paddling the oar comes to a turn where he or she can't see what's on the other side of the turn, they would yell a call sign to make sure that another gondola they can't see hears them. There are multiple gondolas out at once. This area is very quiet. It takes a little while to make these turns. Some of the houses even have doors that open up into the canals so that boats that arrive with supplies can just drop them off right there. When trying to identify a gondola in Venice, gondolas that a lot of people think of have a distinctive ferro, which is the ornate iron pro at the front of the boat, often featuring a decorative design like a seahorse or other intricate shape. Even a hotel has a spot for water taxis to drop off or pick up guests. Some boats look like gondolas and don't have the ferro, so those are not the real gondolas. The locals refer to them as gondolinas. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Taking a joyride on the boats is a high recommended thing to do in Venice. Take care.